Jimmy Ray, and we're here honoring the World War II veterans and to have a banquet to raise money to build a World War II monument in downtown Savannah. We want to be able to have a beautiful observance to those men and women that have passed and those that are still alive, to let them know that we, as younger generation people, appreciate the hard work and the lives lost to save this country. And all of these 7 million veterans went above and beyond the call of duty to save our country, to save our county, and to save our state and our way of life.
My name's Paul Grassi, and I live here in Savannah. I wound up flying B-24s in the 8th Air Force as a pilot, 446 Bomb Group. When the war ended, April 25th, the air war in Europe, 1945, the 8th Air Force had destroyed 100% of the coke and coal industry, 95% of the manufacturing was destroyed, and 90% of the oil refineries. We shot down 5,500 enemy planes, destroyed another 4,500 on the ground. But that was not without cost. We lost 10,000 airplanes and crews. Savannah is the greatest city in the world. We have Hunter Air Base, we have Fort Stewart, we have a bunch of soldiers, Rangers here. This is where a monument should be, and we have an opportunity to honor our veterans from the Second World War. There were a lot of other veterans from other wars, but it just happens to be that we're running out of guys right now. We need a memorial.
I went into service in April in 42, went over there and landed on the beaches and up through France and up through Holland and Belgium and across the Rhine and in the Battle of the Bulge and all that stuff. And went into Germany and was in the occupational group that took care of releasing a lot of German prisoners and civilians that had been in those camps. Disgusting sight to see what torture those people went through. There is no monument that can be built tall enough to show what this country did. You know, if when we landed in the beaches, if we'd have looked over there and said, you know, those cliffs are about a foot taller than we did in practice. We better go home now because that's not right. No, you'd be dancing around to a swastika today instead of having the freedom that we have. That is what they've got to understand. They have to have that monument so the people have a place to go to see and understand what was done. I don't care what the size of the thing is. It is not possible to be big enough to show the appreciation, not just to the troops like I'm saying, but to the whole country that's involved in this thing.
Well, my name is Charles Francis Hearn. I was in the 101st Airborne Division. I served in the Battle of the Bulge in Europe and Belgium in 1944. I can only say this, I'm not sure about the figure, but we lost 3,000 men the first 3 days of the Battle of the Bulge. When the Germans broke through, those boys up at Bastogne and St. Vic had 28 divisions hit them. And we were down at Marseille, which was about 75 miles from Bastogne. And 3 of those divisions got down to us. World War II veterans are dying off real fast right now. I'm one of the younger ones. We got them older than me. Mr. Ponder, who has been commander of the DAV here, and I think he's about 98 years old. He'd like to see this monument built. And we got 2 or 3 of them at 93 years old. They would love to see it built for the same reason that I'd like to see it built, in honor of those men that died in World War II. And I think the city of Savannah should build that monument.
My name is George Olshig. I'm a Savannian all of my life, and I served in the United States Marine Corps, the 6th Marine Division, 2nd Battalion, 29th Marines. And we were stationed in North China when my division, my regiment went up into North China at Qingdao, and we kept the Chinese communists out of that city so we could land the Chinese 8th Army under Chiang Kai-shek. But this monument here in Savannah has been overdue for many, many years, and hopefully, prayerfully, it will be done. And I'm sincere about that, and I'm sure it will, by God's own might.
My name is George Bartell. I was in the 8th Air Force, 385th Bomb Group. Got over into England in November of '43. Shot down in April of '44, and finally was released, and the war ended in May of '45. You think about it sometimes when you're alone, and it still gets to you. And think about what you see, and knew the people that were just gone, or completely gone. And I know of quite a few fellas now who were hoping to see this, but they never made it. They passed away. And I hope they get it soon, because I'm 85, just about. So. Yes, yes.
My name is Joe Hall. I'm a U.S. Marine. I joined the Marine Corps in April of 1941. I was sent to a defense battalion, whose mission is to defend islands that we either take or have taken. I spent about 2 years there on a little island called Funafuti, which was that was the mission of the 5th Defense Battalion. We saved that island from invasion by the Japanese, which we were told were coming down from Midway to take that island. It was the island was between Tarawa and Samoa, and the Japanese needed that island in order to take Samoa and continue their intrusion towards the United States. Would they have ever taken the United States? Indeed, they would have, if they hadn't been stopped by the Marines and other forces of the U.S. Navy. There weren't very, very few people ever pick up a book of 300 pages, 300 or 400 pages, telling accounts of the World War II, Vietnam, Korea. Those books are not read by very many people. Memorials such as proposed at Oglethorpe Square would be seen by how many millions of people come to Savannah every single year. Those people would see that memorial, and they would know what sacrifices were made by the veterans who served in it.